talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times, too many times. My love, it makes me feel like nobody else, nobody else. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself, one, don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's looking alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be a friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And still, man, you ain't getting over him. I got no rules, I count him.
But let's talk about some advanced moves that.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
And I miss you too, Ernie.
And I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here, too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. Some teams fast out of the gate, others not so lucky. Kenny, for the teams that have started slowly, how do they turn the tide?
You know what? About a week ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, when that happens, you can't panic. The season's just begun. Identify the real problems before you start tinkering on things.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brett Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. We'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Detroit Pistons. And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Thanks very much. Andre Drummond is the most prolific rebounder in the league. He said, every time I see a shot go up, it's like a pass to me. Guys focus on points and getting assists. My goal is to go out and get 20 rebounds a night. Kevin?
He definitely is tough to handle in there, David. Thanks so much. Some incredible athletes in this one, Brent. Defensively, what does it take to stay in front of somebody who's got that kind of explosive ability?
For me, a small prayer. For other guys, it's knowing time, space, distance to make sure that you can collect anybody's first move. As you know, Kevin, you can't be thinking out there. If you're caught thinking, especially defensively, you get to read the back of the jersey of the guy you're guarding quite often. Can't happen here tonight.
And it can take your mind off of the other things you've got to do.
Well, yeah, that, and then you're always using one key phrase, which coaches talk about in practice.
Yeah.
Help.
Oh, yeah.
I need help.
Help. Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook and Robertson, the backcourt. The forwards, George and Grant. And it's Adams in at the 5, roaming the paint. And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. And Andre Robertson is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Kind of a ticky-tack foul there, but you have to be aware that's how the refs are going to blow the whistle tonight.
Pass to Robinson. Six to shoot. Here's Bullock. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson.
And it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
The shot's good from Westbrook. Westbrook's got his first bucket of the night.
Again, using his frame and size right there, Westbrook, one of the strongest finishers we have in the game.
There's a screen by Robinson. Drummond is doubled. To the paint. It's tipped. Westbrook with the steal. George against Jackson. George, no good.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
On defense, Oklahoma City. It's stolen by Adams. He's got a clear path. And Adams with the slam.
Yeah, Steven Adams is a big getting out and running in transition, making himself a big target on the fast break.
First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Here's Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Now, here's Bullock. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Pass to Robinson. From deep. The shot that time, not on target. Now, Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Adams dishes to George. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
And Paul George finding some ways now to be effective on the inside.
Now here's Jackson. Bobbed up there for Drummond. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
George with the bucket.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
Well, I love his will, his take charge attitude, the aggressiveness, all of that showing up here in the first. Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
And George with the stuff.
Well, on that kind of move, Paul George is such a great scorer. He can stay in control even at full speed.
And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Stolen by George. And it's George finishing it off.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
And he rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. And they double up Jackson. Pass to Robinson. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Here's Drummond. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Drummond's got 6.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Grant, that's good.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Pistons trailed by 7. Jeremy Grant out of Syracuse, the rare second-round pick, Brent, who's gotten steady NBA minutes throughout his young career.
Yeah, interesting minutes last year in OKC where he started to make a big difference, actually playing off the bench at the 5 spot and taking advantage with his quickness and athleticism on the roll. I look at a vet like Richard Mbamute, an elite defender, as a guy he might be able to emulate, but more so from the 5 position.
And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. These are the players who had the most success from deep last season. Well, you look at Bullock, second in the league, extremely accurate from beyond the arc.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
Here's Westbrook. Makes it off the glass. Westbrook's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Attack, attack, attack. That's Russell getting closer to the rim. He just gets more and more aggressive in there.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
This is the last
And now let's take a look at the stats for George. Last season, he played outstanding. He averaged 22 points per game last season, just over 2 steals and 5 rebounds. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
The Thunder leading by 9. It's George on the wing. Second chance shot, and it's Adams getting it to go.
They are just killing them on the interior.
The Pistons have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. Very solid start for them. Adams brings the double team. And Drummond throws it down.
You could see Drummond's eyes light up once he knew that finish was coming. He didn't waste the chance. Boy, did he get his money's worth on that one.
Now, here is George. He's got 8, and the shot goes down.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Pistons trail by 11. Here's Jackson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
George against Robinson. They grab their own miss. And it's good for 2. And it's 8 points for Russell Westbrook.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul. Patterson, he's checked in for Grant.
Now into the lineup for the Thunder. Patrick Patterson.
Here's Jackson. And stolen by Patterson. A solo fast break. Jumps up. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Well, it's so nice to have the early lead. This is where you want to stick with what's working until somebody shuts you down.
Patterson bringing the double. Griffin. And then Griffin with the dunk.
And Griffin playing with heart. Like how he slams that one home. Right now dominating in the paint.
Stolen by Robinson. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for the Pistons. Ish Smith comes in for Reggie Jackson. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Andre Robertson. Pistons trail by 10. Smith kicks to Johnson. Now the pass to Drummond. Pistons passing it around. And Johnson with the stuff.
And it's just been an avalanche of points here in the early going.
Yeah, for both teams, we're seeing great synergy on offense, but some lackluster defense.
Westbrook with the bucket.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Smith the pass to Griffin. Drummond with a screen on Patterson. They double team Griffin. He feeds it to Bullock. Pass to Drummond. Launches it. 6 to shoot. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
Yeah, even when it comes to matchups where it looks like one side should be the clear favorite, those brief 2-game series often end 1-1.
Here's Smith. Paul George making his last shot. Inside. Here's Bullock. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Russell Westbrook, passionate about the game of basketball, Brent, we know that, but fashion among his foremost interests outside the game.
Yeah, the honor the gift fashion line, which, you know, Kevin, you and I don't think we have much in our closets from that, but got to respect it. Fearless, not only on the court, but off the court in some of the attire that Russell Westbrook brings to the game.
So for the Pistons, Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. Lure comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Kennard in for Reggie Bullock. And then for Oklahoma City, Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams. Alex Abrinas comes in for George. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And that one's good. Schroeder. And the Thunder lead by 12.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Smith kicks to Lure. Johnson the screen. Back to Smith. And stolen by Felton. Here's Patterson. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Patterson's got his second basket of the game. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Lure with it, guarded now by Patrick Patterson. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Pistons trail by 16. Smith kicks to Johnson. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. On the wing, Johnson. Passes to Pachulia. To the paint, here's Smith.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
On up the court. Here's Abrinas. Rebound, Detroit. Johnson with it. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Opening night is upon us. Every team looking to come out of the gate strong. As we know, only half are going to get to the end.
Don't tell them that, Kevin.
I know you can't.
Let's let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
It is a long season. The teams, as we've seen in the past, sometimes what we're watching here tonight, 6 or 7 members of that team might not be on it come February. So got to temper your expectations. Watch the way guys have maybe improved from last season coming into this season. Excited about young teams and the opportunity of their potential, but things can change quickly in this league.
But don't you love the optimism at this time of year?
No doubt about it. Everybody's fired up for the opportunity to show what it is, especially as a player, what you worked on in the offseason to bring it to the hardwood and show your coaching staff the type of work you put in.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The Thunder leading by 14. Here's Schroeder. Lays it up and banks it in. Schroeder's got 8 points.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Schroeder against Smith. And it's Lure, top of the key. Smith kicks to Lure. Shoots over Patterson. Detroit, no good that time either.
And usually that mid-range jumper finds the bottom of the net. Defense has to be more aggressive moving forward.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
1:37 left here in the opening quarter. Here's Schroeder. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Pass to Lure. Patterson bringing the double. Back to Smith. And he comes up with the deuce. He's got 6.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
And taken away by Johnson. From beyond the arc, yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
I'm watching Ish Smith watch his teammates. Great swing to the wide open man for the uncontested shot.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
The Thunder shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one misses.
The Thunder, one of the lowest rates of assists in the league last year. Also, a team that does not move the ball around all that much to gain some advantage with strong side, weak side movement. So we'll see isolation, we'll see pick and roll, and very few passes in a contest like this.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Pachulia is a big guy, and when he's near the rim, that's where big guys score.
And it's Schroeder missing. Pistons trailed by 13. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Smith's shot is good. Smith's got 8 points.
And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Pistons have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Smith. Both good from the line that time. The drive by Schroeder. Got a piece of it.
That's great anticipation by Pachulia, using his length to turn that shot away.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Oklahoma City. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Russell Westbrook has surly disposition on the court, but he talks about the power of positivity with his teammates.
Throughout the years, I've been trying to find ways to be a better leader. Leadership was a huge thing, and I felt the way I reacted to certain plays and my facial expressions and my demeanor can change a lot for a teammate.
Well, you can't win it alone.
And for superstar players like Westbrook, individual greatness isn't enough. It's about elevating the team around them.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, they're taking care of the ball. They're attacking on defense, and this has them out to a big lead after 1.
So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got Patrick Patterson. Felton is out there with Dennis Schroeder. And there's Nerlens Noel, and it's Abrinas in at the 3 spot.
2.
And the first one at the line is good. Brent, we've got great dunkers now, but you played at a time when there were sensational dunkers in the NBA.
Yeah, I saw a lot of guys go over the top of me.
Including yourself.
Too kind. Here's the money. Kevin, I think about those old, and we remember these, the old VHS tapes where you used to get like the dunk highlight tapes. Those are still
Sean Kemp.
so fresh in my mind.
Dr. J.
Dominique Wilkins over the top. MJ over everybody.
Young Vince Carter.
Kenny Skywalker. I mean, just the list goes on and on. But the best in-game dunker, I think it's pretty unanimous that Vince Carter still holds the title. A lot of high hopes for Schroeder when he signed his 4-year deal back in 2016. His development hasn't continued at a high level, at least high enough for some people to take notice. So shooting from a distance, still an issue for the young point guard.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. Well, with Schroeder, he just isn't consistent enough from three-point range as point guards need to be today.
Well, last season was just a shade under the 30% range. He's still a great scorer by slashing and going to the rim, but that's going to tire you out. Teams back off and make you prove it. We'll see if Dennis can find some consistency from that range to be more dangerous. And Dennis Schroeder, a.k.a. Dennis the Menace, remember, coming over from Germany, has been a great slasher and an attack point guard who likes to get around the rim and challenge some bigger defenders.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Smith against Schroeder, and stolen by Noel. And another fast break for Oklahoma City. Thunder running. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And with Schroeder, his ability to cut back, Brent, with the ball is what makes him a great playmaker.
He plays some games around the screen, and his vision has improved. Being in that system, some predictive passing has helped him along, and he still has some flash and flair to his game. Like to see it when he plays with that kind of confidence.
Here's Kennard. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
Coaching staff high-fiving themselves there, watching that team move the ball around, doing whatever is best for the team.
High, arcing shot. Doesn't go for him. Smith with the defensive effort. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. For Oklahoma City, they have been unsuccessful at the line so far, 0 of 3, and looking to make their first free throw of the game right now.
And it's been an issue for them as it was last year, only 72% from the line.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Robinson comes in for Stanley Johnson, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith. Grant, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Roberson comes in for Dennis Schroeder.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Noel. Now here's Jackson. Kicks to Lure. Now the feed to Pachulia. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Felton leading the charge.
And showing a good nose for the ball there. Picks it clean, and he's off to the races.
And a good decision on the move. Too often we see teams have this kind of opportunity and fail to convert.
Pachulia. Then Pachulia with the dunk.
Well, Pachulia is 7 feet tall and can do that. Gets up for the jam.
And Noel throws it down.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Pistons trail by 12. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
What's a free t-shirt? Make some noise!
A different look here for Detroit. Drummond's checked in for Pachulia. Griffin comes in for Lure. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Luke Kennard. And then for Oklahoma City, Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Paul George comes in for Alex Abrinas. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Raymond Felton. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. Westbrook against Jackson. And stolen by Drummond. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Grant against Griffin. Back to Jackson. And Westbrook pulls it down. Knocked loose and stolen by Drummond. He can't get it to go. Adams, some nice D. The Thunder leading by 12. Here's George. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
Robinson misses.
Man, it just hurts to miss shots like this. Mentally, you question yourself, and it can affect your confidence.
Paul George in 2017-18 taking his three-point shooting to new heights. In fact, Brent, the best percentage of his career. Most makes, too.
Well, he's one of the league leaders, Kevin, every year, and just becomes so dangerous from the three-point line. He playing in that secondary offensive role in OKC, he pretty much feasted on catch-and-shoot opportunities with Westbrook having the ball.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Paul George. Traveling has been a concern for the NBA for a while. For a purist like you, do you like that?
Well, you got to get from city to city, Kevin.
I don't think that's the kind of traveling I'm talking about here. Yes. I only ask you pay attention.
I'm sorry,
that's all.
Kevin.
It's a simple request.
Yeah, they're doing a better job. Some get away with it more than others. How's that?
What an answer. Thank you, Brent.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Pistons trail by 16. Jackson is doubled. He kicks to Robinson. Knocked away. Jackson against Westbrook. Clock at 6. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Detroit. On Wednesday, they'll host the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Saturday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago against the Bulls.
And for that matchup with the 76ers, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of. And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
I admire the approach here, especially in such a hostile environment. Offense and defense, they really played a whale of a game.
To the inside, and the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's George. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 8. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Yes, that goes in. 14 points for Russell Westbrook.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Westbrook throws it down hard.
He scores in so many different ways, but most of them have to do with attack mode and aggressiveness.
The Pistons have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Westbrook against Jackson. Drummond a screen. Back to Jackson. Jacks up a 3. And Westbrook pulls it down. Westbrook's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight over Jackson. And again, it's Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 8 points here in this quarter.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
And here's Jackson. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. They get it back. Griffin. George with the defensive effort.
Credit the defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made him attempt a difficult layup.
And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul.
Griffin draws the double. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. On the wing, Jackson. Pistons passing it around. Robinson, that's good.
That's good passing down low. He's good at working the ball deep into the post.
Oklahoma City leading by 22. From 11 feet away, here's Adams. The shot off that time. And Detroit the other way now. Now Bullock. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Offensive rebound. Here's Griffin. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
That's something I think Paul George in the offseason is really working on, just pulling up off the dribble, maintaining great balance. Very few flaws in his offensive game.
Detroit's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Outside Robinson. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got 3 assists in the game. Here's George. Good from the moment it left his hand. That makes him 10 for 14.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Detroit's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. To the middle. Robinson, that's good. Robinson's got 12.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Paul George again.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Jackson is doubled, and there's the pass to Griffin. Back to Jackson. In the corner, it's Robinson. And another 3 for Detroit.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. Bullock with the rebound. Pistons trail by 20. Jackson has the open look, and it's off from three-point range. George against Robinson. The shot by George, no good. Detroit's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Back to Jackson. Here's Robinson. Thunder with the rebound. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Here's George. Reggie Jackson with the rebound. And, well, Detroit shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. Here's Bullock. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff.
All right, a moment here to check out stats for Griffin. Coming off a terrific season, 17th in assists and amongst the league's top-tier scorers, top 20 in points per game.
And really a good season for him distributing the basketball. Whether it was the drive and dish, pick and roll, fast break, he was money all year long. And the first one drops.
Well, his body control is phenomenal, and his ability to get to the line has always been impressive. That's a huge part of his game.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Robinson, and Smith subbed in for Reggie Bullock. And then for Oklahoma City, Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Grant. Alex Abrinas comes in for Roberson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook.
The versatility of Paul George as he's matured and put some more weight on his frame through the years. He's an exceptional two-way player with outstanding length and a tremendous scoring ability.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball.
For the Pistons, Lure comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Luke Kennard in for Reggie Jackson. The Thunder also changing it up. Nerlens Noel checks in for Steven Adams. And it's Felton in for George. And the basket is good.
Cannot give players that kind of positioning, and the defense also late in trying to alter that shot.
Smith the pass to Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. Here's Schroeder. Basket number 8 is all good. He's attempted 12 shots.
Schroeder playing with some tenacity in this one. He is not letting the defense dictate where it is that he's going, and he's scoring through contact.
Here's Drummond. That's good again. His 7th basket, 7 for 10 from the floor.
He's just so aggressive on that move. You have to come over fast and hard to stop him.
Fires the 3. Excellent defense there from Smith. Pistons trail by 20. And the rejection by Noel. And it's Smith missing. Oklahoma City has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Shoots from the baseline. That one off the back iron and out. Detroit's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. To the middle, here's Lure. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
Schroeder, and it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
It looked like the D knew it was coming, almost inviting Schroeder to take it. RSVP'd.
It's stolen by Schroeder. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Well, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Got that bucket in no time at all. Smith's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Well, more handles than a 6-door SUV. Ish Smith looking good there. The defense has no clue how to deal with him.
Kicks it out to Johnson. Back to Smith. Fires from 18. Again, the Pistons good for 2.
Where was the D on that one? Just too easy.
Oklahoma City leading by 18. Here's Schroeder, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Smith kicks to Drummond. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel. The Pistons shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
No good on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
And the second free throw, good. Schroeder outside, and that's not going to go. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Oklahoma City out in front, leading by 17. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 26 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. He's definitely heated up over the last few games, and we're seeing some of that same recipe here tonight. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
When Paul George plays with high energy, he goes to a level others can't reach. He defends 4 and 5 positions. On the other end, it's effortless for him to create good looks. One of the most intriguing players to watch when he's on his game.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
Welcome back, everyone. The lights of Motown reflecting brightly off the Detroit River. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
Hey, Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
Pistons trail by 17. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Jackson and Bullock are the 1 and the 2. And it's Robinson in at the small forward. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Here's Drummond.
Well, that's all Adams and his effort right there. Great job affecting that attempt.
There's Jackson with the 3. And Westbrook pulls it down. Westbrook's got his 5th rebound in this one. Tries again. No good from Grant.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Inside. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Jackson. Jackson's got his 8th assist here tonight. Pulls up on the wing, and it goes down 2 points. And that's 20 points for Russell Westbrook.
That's a nice release on the mid-range jump shot. Westbrook getting more consistent from there. Loves the right side especially.
Here's Roberson. He can't get that one. Now the Pistons take it the other way.
Yeah, they got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far, and they know they got to be better.
To the middle. Here's Westbrook. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Westbrook's got 22.
I like how confident Westbrook is close to the rim. Gets high off the ground and releases his shot quickly.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
That is not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to throw an alley-oop from that kind of distance.
And then to dunk it with authority. Wow. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
George with the bucket.
That's good defense, but like we say, better offenses. Paul George doesn't even think about the kick out. He wants to get those points.
Here's Jackson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years, their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in a season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
He can't be stopped right now. The D looks like they're at a loss, and they have no idea how to contain him.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Detroit.
And this shot chart shows just how effective their offense has been this season. They're the top-ranked team in the conference, and they've gotten there because of how multidimensional their offense has been. They don't get their points from any one specific area on the floor. They can score from all over the place.
It's good. And it's 8 points for Blake Griffin.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Pistons trail by 15. Outside Robinson. Poked away. And the Thunder pushing it up now. George with the ball.
Guy's got some of the best hands in the league. Paul George instincts right there. Pokes that ball away.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Jackson is doubled. It's Drummond, high post. The Pistons working the ball around now. Good. Robinson's got 17 now.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
No doubt without these contributions, they'd be in a much deeper hole in this one, no question.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
And the Pistons with possession here. The Thunder making the shot. Robinson misses. Outside, George uses the glass to finish the layup. George has got 10 points here in the second half.
He keeps finding great shots out there, and the opportunities are turning up roses.
And it's George finishing it off.
Paul George can be dangerous out in transition. Great job finishing there.
Pistons trail by 21. Robinson for three. Hits it from three-point range. Robinson's got 5 points in the quarter.
You know, at least get a hand up. It's not too much to ask from a coaching staff. Just not intimidating defense at all on that possession.
For Detroit, they've gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. Off target with his three. The Thunder leading by 18. Here's George, and he banks in the layup. George has got 40 points.
He's hit the proverbial switch, effortlessly finding different ways to score.
Here's the screen. A good look from Robinson. Robinson missing again. Oklahoma City shooting the lights out in this building, 68% from the field. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
The Thunder have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line. The Pistons making a change here. Pachulia's checked in.
Shooting one.
That's good from George. Here's Jackson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Knocks it loose. Oh, Griffin in position. It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. And in front of you now is a list of the players with the highest shooting percentage last season. The 4th spot held by Steven Adams.
Put the ball in the bucket. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? I mean, just ask him. He'll have the answer for you.
Westbrook against Jackson.
Well, Westbrook out there playing defense like an interior decorator, draped all over him. Yeah, this has been a night where you could look at his shooting and his performance, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Detroit's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Pachulia kicks to Robinson, and it's Robinson with the jam.
And he takes it right at the man who just scored on him.
That's the way to answer back, with an in-your-face stuff. Westbrook with the bucket.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Jackson softly drops in the floater. Jackson's got his first 2 points of the night.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
Westbrook with the bucket.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Jackson with it. Griffin a screen on Westbrook. Jackson kicks to Pachulia. Griffin down low. He's covered by Grant. Count that one. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
Yeah, and therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive but not committing turnovers.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Lewis checked in for Griffin. Stanley Johnson comes in for Glenn Robinson III. Kennard, he's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Detroit gets called for the foul.
The potential Schroeder has is pretty exciting. Such a lightning-quick point guard.
The Thunder have made 2/3 of their free throws tonight. 6 of 9 to be exact. And he knocks down the first one. Schroeder hits them both. Here's Kennard. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Johnson with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Smith against Schroeder. Pachulia sets a screen for Smith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Count that one. Smith's got 22 points.
I give some credit to the screen out there. That totally freed up the shooter to take advantage of that look.
Here's Noel. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Detroit gets called for the foul. He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
2 shots. Two.
That's good from Noel.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
And he makes both free throws. Detroit's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. And Lure wide open. He shoots it, kept alive, and the shot is good. Pachulia's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Zaza playing with great energy right now on the glass, getting after it and keeping some of these possessions alive.
Pistons shooting a stellar 60% since the halftime break. Taken away by Felton. And now Felton running the floor all by himself. Drops in the breakaway layup. Felton's got his first basket.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them. And just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. They always attempt to wear you out.
The shot's good from Kennard.
And Pachulia, his teammates before himself, passing the ball demonstrates that.
The drive by Schroeder. Good on the shot. Schroeder's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Floats one. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. 2 points. That one goes. Schroeder's got 26 points.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Smith the pass to Lure. Ball's knocked loose, and the Thunder pushing it up now. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And scoring in a variety of ways so far in this game.
Detroit's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Lure the screen. Schroeder comes with the double team. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Kennard. Clock at 6. Down low. And finished off by Lure.
All keyed right there from the lead pass. Right on the money.
Here's Schroeder. Lays it up off the glass. Schroeder's got 10 points in just the second half.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
Schroeder comes with the double team. Johnson right side. Here's Smith. And the rejection by Noel. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noel. Jackson, he's checked in for the Pistons.
On the floor, Reggie Jackson.
Smith against Schroeder. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And a look here at the shot chart for George.
Right now, after looking at that chart, you pretty much can just jog down the court if he gets it in the paint. That just time and time again, he's worked his way in close and made a shot over a defender or found another way to convert. Just great stuff coming from him thus far.
No good on the free throw. And he's good on the second. And for the Thunder, they're shooting an unbelievable 70%. You won't see a performance like this too often. 2 points, that one goes.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Here's Smith after the made shot from Dennis Schroeder. Lure can't hit. There's 1:26 left in the third. Here's Schroeder. Rebound, Detroit. Johnson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Abrinas, and a strong finish with 2 hands.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
And here's a look at the stats for Dennis Schroeder. He had a strong showing last season. He averaged about 19 points a game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And a quality player. I love what he brings to the table at that backup point guard position.
I think coaches appreciate a guy that comes in and knows how to run the offense with some intelligence. That's exactly what he does.
And that one misses. He hits the second from the line. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 12-4 run. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Schroeder's got 14 points here in the second half. And, well, Detroit shooting 54% since they had a chance to talk things over at halftime. They're looking locked in out there now. Back to Jackson. Tries from 10. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 3 assists tonight.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And Schroeder finds some deceptive ways to make you foul him. Someone who can nail some shots despite getting hit on the way up.
For Oklahoma City, they have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line. That's good from Schroeder. Piston shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. Picked by Pachulia. Now here's Jackson. Lure a screen on Schroeder. 4 on the clock. And Lure gets it to go. Lure's got 8.
You saw he altered his release, allowing him to get around his defender and then laid it in.
And they pick up 2.
And Schroeder did not even have to think twice about that shot. This young man simply devours these chances inside.
It's stolen by Schroeder. Here's Abrinas. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Abrinas taking 2 shots. Two.
The first free throw is good, and the Pistons making a change here. Good on both. And here's Jackson. Shoots over Schroeder. Again, the Pistons score. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, up by 33 points as the buzzer sounds. A huge lead for them. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We've got more in store for you right after this. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Even though the position is called shooting guard, passing part of your responsibilities in today's game.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Oklahoma City shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively. Taking a look at the Thunder. Nerlens Noel is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Felton. And it's Luwawu in at the 3. Here's Ellenson. Following the basket by Raymond Felton. Calderon, that's good.
Amazing to watch Jose Calderon on the inside, just scanning, and then burying that interior shot.
And it's good for 2.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Patterson's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, Patterson usually on the perimeter, this time down on the inside, doing a little bit of damage.
Felton against Calderon. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Do you think it seems like young players are more receptive to stints in the G League than they were in the past?
I feel that way.
Seems
Kevin,
that way, yeah.
Like
I agree.
the stigma of what was used to be the D League, and maybe it was because those were the grades that I had, that you felt a little weird about it. But now that it's the G League, and now that, like we talked about, almost half the players last year had some kind of touch with the G League, I think that stigma has mostly gone away.
Are you saying you were a G student?
Well, when I gave my mom my report card, she said, "Gee, you got 4 A's."
Pistons shooting has been fun to watch in this game. They're at 57%. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
And that's number 4. Definitely something to keep track of as we move forward.
Out left to the wing. Here's Lure. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
That screen made it impossible for the defense to put up any kind of fight.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. Here's Galloway. Down low and stolen by Patterson. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City and slam dunk by Noel.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
It's almost hard to believe that somebody can throw it down like that.
It's a small club, right, Greg? I mean, it's a pretty small club, that's
very
for sure.
Exclusive.
He can really rise up.
And the defense knows this. Somebody has to come over to contest.
And that's just some great vision there from Calderon to see the wide open man for the easy make.
And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Calderon kicks to Johnson. Lure the screen. And the basket by Johnson.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
Here's Abrinas, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton.
Well, he's like a carpenter out there. Great floor awareness, zipping the ball over to his teammates with ease.
Johnson outside. Calderon sets a screen for Johnson. Inside, and stolen by Noel. Here's Luwawu. Count that one.
Oh, man, gotta love that pass there. Couldn't ask for a better one.
For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Lure the screen. Galloway kicks to Johnson. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Noel's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first.
Patrick Patterson, a veteran forward out of Kentucky, had some of his best years, Brent, playing with the Toronto Raptors.
He's a real difference maker for them, coming off the bench and being able to stretch out offensive possessions, shot the ball incredibly well, high efficiency from there. And that's why the advanced stats, I think that the general manager of Oklahoma City thought that Patterson, as an addition here, could help out their offense and give them some punch off the bench.
That free throw good from Patterson. Certain guys can play within themselves and still dominate. You played along one of the best that you saw up close in Tim Duncan.
One of the things I think about with Tim is how many numbers he left on the board, Kevin. The way that Coach Popovich played him, minimal minutes, touches when needed most, where Tim usually came through, but how much more dominant he truly could have been.
And he didn't care about numbers, did he?
Not at all. He cared about one number, and that's putting W's on the board. But how many more things Tim Duncan would have led categorically in the history of the NBA at the power forward position, but overall, the numbers would have been staggering.
City foul. Raymond Felton. First personal foul, team's third.
One shot, gentlemen.
Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Here's Grant. Buries it from three-point range.
Wow, Jeremy Grant continuing to work on his game, stretching it out to the three-point line.
To the paint, here's Griffin, and the layup's good off the glass.
We love to see the resolve from an offensive player after a disappointing first half. He's been terrific here in the second.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Detroit basketball.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. And the three ball is good.
Now, Calderon does such a good job of being a floor general out there. Outstanding passing instincts.
Here's Luwawu. And Ellenson pulls it down. For Detroit, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. Kennard's shot is off. They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become. Defense, for me, just hasn't made the commitment to sprint back in transition, and that's why you see such a huge differential in fast break points.
Here's Galloway following the score by Oklahoma City. A nice shot by Ellenson.
And those close-range shots are what you want him taking. They always have a great chance of falling.
Here's Abrinas, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got assist number 8 here in this one already. Abrinas has gotten 3 of his 4 shots to fall, hitting 75%. Galloway, no good with the triple. And for the Thunder, their shooting has been out of this world, 74% from the field. No good from Grant. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. You look around the NBA, amazing players, global interest, franchise values are going through the roof. Do you feel like the league is entering a golden age if it's not already in a golden age?
I think it is, Kevin, at least offensively. What we've seen over the last 5 years with the adoption of most of the teams of the three-point shot, it's been some of the greatest offensive basketball the league has ever seen. And this idea that the evolution of the game stopped when it is at number 23 retired is kind of silly. I love where the game is at. I love where it's going. And I'm excited to be here tonight to watch this action with you.
Which number 23? We've got two pretty prominent number 23s in the history of this game.
I was thinking the
most
one
recent
I played
23?
against. Yeah,
oh,
that
that 23.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. And this is why Blake Griffin appears on your highlight reel on a nightly basis. Loves rising up for the alley-oop.
Here's Felton, and Oklahoma City again with the bucket. Here's Galloway. To the middle. Calderon, that's good. Calderon's got 4 points this quarter.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. It's picked off. Ferguson's shot is good. Now Calderon. Brent, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple of years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
First free throw is good. Ish Smith, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Well, there's a lot of talk, too, Brent, about the age requirement for entering the draft, and Commissioner Silver has said it's a clear change that's probably on the way. What do you think the league should do?
Can you and I talk about a guy that you know quite well who in 1995 came out as the
17-year-old,
pick
I know
in
it.
the NBA draft? Kevin Garnett came into the league and handled himself extremely well. Now, for every one of those stories, we know there were other ones where guys did not make much of their NBA careers.
But then here comes the G League.
The G League, to me, is the huge key.
That's the equalizer.
A lot
isn't
of these guys have a ripcord now for some of those things that transpired over the course of the last 30 years, where they can have a softer landing point to continue to develop, to continue to mature, and have an opportunity to make something of their NBA career.
Excellent explanation. Kennard's shot is off.
And right now, I think just his demeanor is hurting the team. His shooting's been off, and he knows it.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. It's going to be on Jose Calderon. Commissioner Adam Silver has balanced his comments between wanting parity, Brent, and recognizing there are always going to be super teams. Is there middle ground there?
Is there middle ground?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You would like to have some of the teams just be more competitive than they are, but some of the creative, circuitous routes that teams have taken to put themselves into position to get better, younger talent has decimated.
What do you call that?
I don't have a term for it.
Okay.
I don't like the one that's used, so I don't have a term for it. Let's just call it setting yourself up for the future, Kevin.
Looking ahead.
Yes, exactly. So I just don't think you'll ever get it. You do hope that some of the starving franchises do have some success for the fans who have they've had to bear a lot. So you root for them.
Pass to Kennard. They need this. No good that time. And it's Oklahoma City the other way.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon, because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Lure, following the basket by Raymond Felton. Lure the pass to Smith. Here's Kennard. Trying to find Smith. He's got it now. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Basket counts. Smith's got 25 points.
And a terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
They get the rebound. Ferguson's shot is good.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
To the inside, Kennard. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 6 assists now in the game.
I like that recognition, effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
And so it's Detroit with the ball, following the shot by Patrick Patterson. Felton with some nice D. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Here's Ferguson, and count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
One team owner proposed that we should abolish the draft and have free agency for rookies, maybe giving lesser teams a bigger pool of money to spend. Just some of the ideas that these teams are in the league is throwing out there.
Well, that's an interesting idea. The one that I heard about last summer was in Houston trying to flip-flop free agency and the draft so that all of a sudden what you can do is draft players after it is that you've made all your free agent acquisitions, so you could draft positionally, you know you're set up for your team next year. And the more I've thought about that, Kevin, coming into the season, the more I like it. So we'll see what kind of traction that gets.
Now here is Smith to the middle, 6 on the shot clock. Machulia, good.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Patterson. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4.
Patterson in a groove right now, very confident with his ability in this game to score the basketball.
Then Pachulia with the dunk.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Now, here's Felton. Rebound by the Pistons. Lure's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Smith against Felton.
Oklahoma City foul call. That's his second personal foul.
Tearaway warm-ups have long been a feature of the NBA, but last season the new tearaway jerseys, they just kept ripping apart.
The old uniform malfunction, Kevin, last year. Yeah, maybe
you even had a couple malfunctions, and that was odd.
2 shots.
Well, the tie, bad tie.
Yeah.
I always have bad ties.
You know,
I think they're looking back at the material choices for what they're doing. So maybe there'll be some subtle changes into this year. But it was interesting in the early part of last year. A lot of guys with a finger underneath the arm and pulling away a jersey and ripped away. So maybe the supplier will do something about the fabric this year.
Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. And Lure drops them both. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Oklahoma City.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
Take a break.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for George.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And Lure drops them both. The Thunder shooting has been just uncontainable, 72%. Here's Patterson. The Thunder with another miss. And for the Pistons, their shooting in the 4th has been tremendous, 59%. Calderon passes to Lure. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
Well, the veteran instincts of Calderon on full display. He breaks down the defense, has the vision to find his man.
Abrinas with the bucket.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus
but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here.
It's good on the putback.
Not giving up. Pachulia staying after that. And how about the throwdown?
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
No, we not them. I got a light skin and the Asian. Calais on the beat, make a bass in. Like a young bubble in the waves. But I'm really trying to see how to face it. Bought my chicken, my chalupas. Ayy, make a with the roof up. Ayy, backflip, make her do stunts. Ayy, in the tuned up. Touchdown, boom, shakalaka. Oh, eyes on me, I see you watching. Oh, we do what we want to. Oh, this is all we come through.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And here's Felton from the arc. Rebounded by the Pistons. Calderon with it. Passes it to Kennard. To the middle. Pachulia, good.
And finally hitting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
And it goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Felton. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Feeds to Pachulia. Then Pachulia with the dunk.
How about a shift in the offense here? Maybe they'll start to go to Pachulia more often.
From the baseline. That doesn't go either for Felton. Johnson outside. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
And they sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.